Hello and good evening. Happy Sunday to you wherever you are. It's a pleasure to welcome you guys today on the Entrepreneur Show. Uh, Today, we have a third guest on the topic success against all odds. Success against all odds. Now, this topic is very, very important because we want to bring people from different walks of life, different areas of business and engagement who have had different experiences so they can share this with each and every one of you. Now, obviously, the objective of what we're doing is to get you from where you are to where you want to be. You know, get you with the knowledge of that our guest will be giving you so you can learn from their experiences so you don't have to make the same mistakes that they made, so that you can get to where you want to be. So, my name is Gerald Chato. I'll be the one hosting you today. It will be great for us if you can let us know where you're watching us from. Just leave a comment. Also, do us a massive favor. Do share the stream so we can get many more people involved and engaged with what we will be talking about today. We've got a guest today that you don't want to miss. I describe him as one of the best fashion, into best fashion person that we have currently in Cameroon that I know. Maybe there are others. He's building one of the fastest growing brands in honor of Cameroonian origin, both in the diaspora and back at home. And he's been, spreading across the entire world. I know he's definitely in Dubai, definitely in Nigeria as well. And he's doing incredible things, in the fashion industry. But it wasn't always like that for him. It wasn't always like that for him. He had to walk his way, through life to get to where he currently is right now. And it is my delight today to bring him on board so that he can share this journey with each and every one of you, so that you can also get a snippet of what it has been for him, getting from where he is to where he currently is. And it will be great if you can share the stream so that many more people as well can learn from him. I've known him since 2000, and it's been a long time ago. From my days in the uni, I've known him, and he's always been the one to go to if you needed to push things through. He's always been very active and always been very creative, always been very determined. So the spirit has always been in him. But regardless of that, I know along the way he's had his challenges. And today he'll be sharing that with each and every one of you guys. So it will be great, if you can share this stream so that we can get many more people to learn from him. And one of the questions that I will be asking him, which is one of the questions that I receive the most, is how can I raise capital? I'm a struggling entrepreneur. How do I raise capital for my business? I think like people don't want to support my business. Things are really, really tough for me. How can I get through this particular stage, to become a thriving business? That's one of the questions that I'll be asking him today, because I want him to share how he has done it. I know he's been there, and every entrepreneur has always been there, has definitely been in that particular point or that particular place where everything, looks so bleak. They don't know how they would pay the bill for the next few months. And in that moment, you either you're tested, and in that moment is where your business is going to break forth or your business is going to crumble. If you cannot solve or resolve that problem, that critical problem of raising capital to keep your business afloat, in that moment, any decision that you make will either cause your business to continue or will cause your business to close down. It's happened to me in the past. Some of the business I had to close down. That is an honest truth. But over time, with the experience and the knowledge gotten from failed businesses, others began to thrive and began to grow. And that's what it is for an entrepreneur. Not every venture you start is going to be successful. That does not mean, that you're not an entrepreneur. No, it only means that there are certain skill sets that you need to learn again. There are certain things that you need to know. There are other things that you need to maybe learn from others. And I always say this: when it comes to success, don't be too proud to ask for help when you need it. When it comes to success, when it comes to your growth, your success, don't be too proud to ask for help when you need it, because it is very, very important. We all need help at one point or another on a journey of entrepreneurship. Everyone does. And this is why, like, sometimes you may be raising capital, from friends and families, or you may be raising capital with maybe some external investors. However, you're raising capital, we all need help at one point or another as an entrepreneur or on this journey of entrepreneurship. So today, the objective is to get you to learn from this gentleman, and the objective is to get you to go home knowing at least a few strategies that you can employ in your own business, however big, however small, or even if you haven't started yet. That is the objective for today. And I hope that these little efforts that we're doing will definitely get you to where you want to be someday. Oftentimes, for you to get these people to, come to you and talk to you, maybe privately, you have to pay a lot of money. But we're bringing them to you to speak and to share their experiences, because one of the perks of being successful is oftentimes successful people are willing to share their knowledge, and are willing to share it for free only to people who are serious. Nobody likes unserious people. If somebody is willing and determined, most successful people will prefer to sit down with such a person, share their ideas with them, and tell them and help them to grow. Because they themselves, probably they know it more than other people do, that on this journey, at one point or another, you're going to need help. And on this journey, at one point or another, you will hope and wish and pray that someone is going to step in and hold your hand and lift you out of a particular place, a particular jam. So they understand that. And that is why they share their ideas with people that are willing to learn, ready to learn, and also willing to apply and implement the ideas and the concepts that they share. So today, my guest is no other person than Gerard Mayer. He is the CEO of Euroboutique. And Euroboutique, so far as I know, is in the United States. And he's been having some of the, think about it, like Shaquille O'Neal was in his boutique. He dressed Shaquille O'Neal for an NBA event. So you can begin to imagine the caliber of people that he dresses. Some of the celebrities in Cameroon, I know he dresses them, you know. And I was even speaking to him like, hey, man, I need some of these suits that you sell because they look great, you know. So and he has been building this Euro boutique, as far as I know, for a couple of years now. And he's been doing tremendously well. In fact, I'm really, really proud of the work that he has done. Because oftentimes when people leave their home countries and travel to Europe or America, they're happy just settling down for a job. But it's not him. No, 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 no. He's carving out a part of the American dream and giving that hope to other people to also dream and to aspire. That even if you travel out of the country, you know, you can carve out a part of it for yourself. You can do something that most people are afraid to do. You can work for yourself, you can build an empire. And so it is my pleasure tonight and this evening to welcome my brother on board, whom will be talking to you guys. So, hello, Gerald, can you hear me? Can you hear me, Gerald? I can see you, but I can't hear you. Just check the mic. We can see you, but I don't think we can hear you. Not yet, not yet. Hello, Paul. Good to see you. Good to see you too, Paul. Please do share the stream. Um, let's just get Gerald to try and connect with. I could see him, and I believe you guys can see him too. Sometimes it's good to disconnect and reconnect. So let's just wait for our guest to come back. Just give it a few minutes while he gets that done. I believe you guys are going to be very blessed this evening. So just have. All right, all right.
Yeah. Can you hear
Yeah.
me now, Gerald?
Yes, I can. I can hear
Sorry
you
about
quite all right.
sorry,
Good to have you this afternoon.
sorry
How's the
about that.
USA today?
Yeah, I'm very sorry about that. Again, as expected, sometimes technical glitch are uncontrollable. So it is what
Absolutely.
I am. I'm happy. It's a privilege to be on your platform.
Thank you
This
very much.
very broad page with what 100 and something thousand followers on this page. It's a great page, man. Good job to have grown such a page. It's a privilege. It's a privilege, and I look forward to having a good discussion with you, as well as some of our followers. Folks have been calling me, looking forward to this.
Yeah,
So yeah, I look forward to having a good, discussion. I hope the listeners, one or two people, will pick up something from our chat today, and it definitely should be impactful
yeah.
for some people. Yeah.
Absolutely. Say, listen, we're really, really grateful for you making our time to be with us today. You've been doing incredible, incredible work. I have been following your work. And the day I put out the post, some of the people were like, oh, wow, I know him. So definitely the work is getting out. When you're doing good work, people see, and people
Right.
genuinely appreciate people that are putting in the effort, people that are trying to make a difference. And this is what you've been doing for the past, couple of years.
Right.
So my first question to you is, did you always know that you were going to be in fashion? Did you always have the zeal to be in fashion?
Um. So again, I'll be very precise. Right. So you and I know ourselves way back. A long time ago. You
Yeah.
basically. Um, and I tend to be, they always ask me this question every time, be it on social media or probably doing a Facebook Live. People want to know if it was something that just came in. And my answer to that question is very precise. Basically, I grew up loving fashion. Gerald, back in the days, basically, if you want to see me in jeans in the classroom, I'm not that guy. You know,
Yeah.
shorts, basically, I'm not a guy. I always look forward to my lectures, attending classes, dressing corporate.
Yeah.
Um, Fashion has been something embedded in me. You understand? And the truth is that coming to the state, basically finding a different career,
Yeah.
as I do something like full time, but as well as running this business full time. So fashion has been something I've been passionate about. It's all about loving what it's basically embedded in you that you cannot escape from it. So that's
Mm.
the question.
Right. Right. So your journey has been incredible. Just to being humble. It has been incredible. But I just wanted to share with us your journey so far, where you've come from to where you are, because sometimes it's good for the audience to hear the journey so that they know that you are also an ordinary person, who came from somewhere, maybe a similar background to them, but you did not end at that level. You decided to carve out something for yourself. By you sharing that journey, somebody may become very encouraged and motivated and inspired to carry on. So can you share with us your journey so far from where you started, where it all began, to where you currently are?
Again, that's another brilliant question, Jared. And thanks for asking that question. And you're right. None of us were born with golden spoon in our mouth. You understand? Um, um, I actually, grew up basically in a normal middle class home in Cameroon.
Yeah,
I say this. Some people might look at me today like, "Oh my God, that guy," or maybe I'm flying a business class to a Dubai trip,
yeah,
or to Europe on a business. Like, oh my God, I want to be like that guy. But no, it never used to be bed of roses. I didn't just grow up with somebody giving me a golden spoon. I worked hard for it. You understand? Everything, it's all about sacrifice. You understand? And I would say this: some of us are privileged to be in the United States where opportunities the opportunities are there for
yeah,
you. Basically, if you can grab those opportunities, you will actually maximize your potentials. You see what
yeah,
I mean? I grew up in Cameroon. With my mom, basically my family wasn't that, you know, super rich family. Even though, my mom basically managed to send us to good boarding schools and, that kind of a thing. But I would say that I used to hawk at my 17. If you know my
mm,
17, for some people
yeah,
who don't know the My 17 motor park,
yeah,
basically, my mom, there's some women that sell fruits
yeah.
at My 17. They've been there for years. Literally, I used to go actually help my mom do that. When I was in school, in Baptist High School in Boyal, all the schools I attended, I used to come back, even in UB, when you and I were,
Yeah, yeah,
come back and basically help hawk, sell oranges and pineapple, whatever.
yeah,
But the whole thing is, when I got the opportunity to be where I am today, I literally made use of that opportunity, and basically ensuring that you get the skills needed. You understand, to get a good job,
yeah.
because again, we talk about establishing a business. But again, you just don't do that overnight. All right, there's a step, there's a path that you have to follow.
That's
And
right.
so, but I just want to tell all the listeners basically that I'm like you guys. Literally grew up middle class home, and worked my way up the ladder, and basically I said where I am, and it was a lot of sacrifice. Making use of those sacrifices, making use of all the opportunities that came my way, and of course aspiring to more greater as we move forward. Yeah.
You've touched on two key things. I just want to follow up quickly. You've mentioned about sacrifice, and you've also spoken about aspiring for much more than that. Because these two, they are very important. It is good to aspire to be so much more, because by you aspiring, you can definitely, like, do so much good when everything falls in place. And but to become much more, you also need to sacrifice. You also need to sacrifice. I just wanted you to maybe elaborate a little bit on that based on your experience so far. Because sometimes, like, people will hear, okay, sacrifice, they were like, okay, yeah, we all sacrifice. But can you just give, like, maybe some specific examples of the kind of things that you've had to go through to get to where you are? Because this is really, really important that people hear it, you see, because sometimes they may be in a very tied up corner, and they're thinking like he's talking about sacrifice. He hasn't gone through what I have gone through. You see, can you just give us, like, maybe a few
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
numbers of the things?
I'll go into specifics, right? So
Yeah,
it's in our life. Like I remember one time I was on CITV and I was talking about how to business, and somebody was like, "Oh my God, but how do I start a business with no capital? You know, how do I start a business with no, credit system in America? This credit system, you walk into a bank, you apply for a big loan, and you get the loan. Okay, but now looking at that, I'm sharing this to audiences in America and Europe and Africa. There are a lot of ways you can sacrifice. It's like somebody like me. There's a physical discipline, basically. Fiscal discipline, and you will understand what I mean by that. But again, just so we understand, sometimes you tend to, you discipline yourself financially with an objective.
Yeah.
So if you're in the United States, the system has been structured with the credit system. Some people will not understand it in Cameroon. Again, now, the system basically has been structured with the credit system that sometimes you go through a lot of sacrifices, like, maybe expenses, try to keep up on your bills and that, because people tend to, basically you're negligent in, missing out on payment affects your credit score and you cannot apply for loan. It's a whole circle. Now, let's get that to Cameroon. You're in Cameroon. There are, literally, do you know you can start a business in Cameroon with 20,000, 100,000? Now, the question is, how do I get 100,000?
Yeah.
The question is, how do I get 100,000? The point is that, the vision for a business, you need to have, basically a plan. You understand? If you have a plan, then I've helped so many people who reach out to me. There's a lady in Yaoundé right now. She sells. She came out with a product. Basically shared that with me, and I was able to help her because I saw her vision.
Yeah.
And she was able to say, okay, I needed 100,000. I've been able to save, I think, 38,000.
Yeah.
I need, the balance of that, 62,000.
Yeah.
What I mean, that's how being able to say that would I even work? That's sacrifice.
Yes.
You understand? From the Cameroon perspective.
Yes.
Now, from the United States, from Europe, it's all about financial discipline, physical.
That's right. That's definitely, yeah. You've touched on, that is absolutely, I totally agree with you, like, because sometimes, like I tell people, it's not that we don't have money, because we all have money. Just think about it. From the moment you've been born right up to now, even if you're just, say, 20 years old or 25 years old, if you're actually supposed to count how much money has gone through your hands, you will see that if you are able to return 10-20% of that money, you will be very well off. So the problem is not money. The problem is what to do with money once you have it. How do you keep it? How do you multiply it? How do you sustain it? And this is where, fiscal discipline comes in. And this is where the sacrifice comes in. You see, because sometimes, like, I share this quite a lot. Like, I was talking to some guys, like, hey, listen, don't tell me you don't have money, because you have money. He's like, oh, but I was like, even if you don't have a job, you have money. There is nobody on earth right now that can tell me they don't have money, because somehow money comes to you through friends, through relatives, through acquaintances, through your job, through some investment. So you do have money. It's not a problem of money. It's a problem of fiscal discipline, like you have said.
That's
and
right.
This is something that I tell every single person. So every money that you have coming through you, I was listening, I just shared this. I was listening to a man of God once, and he said, for every money that comes to your hand, there is seed for tomorrow and there is bread for today. There is seed for tomorrow and there is bread for today. So if you eat both the seed and the bread, then tomorrow there will be nothing for you. And that is what creates poverty. And that is what creates lack. So when you're eating the bread for today, you have to think about the seed, because it is the seed that will yield more bread for tomorrow. So that is a very key one. And I just wanted to follow up, something on that with you, because we have quite a lot of young people that are following us, from literally all across Africa. And one of the highest questions that I get asked is, what do you think, sir? Do you think can I make it in Ghana? Or do I have a better opportunity if I travel out, maybe to the US or to Europe? And that is one of the questions I wanted to ask you. Like, for a young man listening who is in Cameroon or in Ghana or in Nigeria or in Tanzania, what would you say to them? Do you think that they have, a way by which they can make it where they are? Or it is going to be better if they leave their home country and travel, say, to Europe or to America?
Well, I mean, basically, you're based in the UK, and I'm sure you've been asked that question multiple times. by people younger than us or people even older than us. The truth is that you can make it anywhere. Now, don't, there shouldn't be a backlash like, oh, you can say that because you're based in America. So
Yeah. I think we've lost you there in terms of volume. We lost you yet. We've lost you. Can't hear you. Not sure what changed. We cannot hear you. Guys, can you hear him? Just check your volume a little bit. Not sure what changed because it was all right before. Sorry about that, guys. Just give it a few more seconds. Sorry about that, guys, but we are touching on something very important. One of the highest questions that I get asked, all over and all the time. Can you hear me? You can hear me, but okay. But the guys cannot hear you. Please, guys, just let us know. Can't hear him. All right. Please do share the stream, guys. Like somebody says, like I cannot hear you. I'm not sure what happened. Sorry about that, guys. Sometimes it happens. I don't know what's changed. Sorry about that, guys. But remember this. Remember this. For every money that comes to you, whether your father gave it to you, your mother gave it to you, your boyfriend, your girlfriend, your husband, your wife gave it to you, there is seed for tomorrow and there is bread for today. If you eat both the seed and the bread, tomorrow there will be poverty. Tomorrow there will be dry season. So you need to make sure that you eat only the bread for today and you plant the seed so that tomorrow there will be corn, there will be wheat, and there will be food for you. Okay, so let me bring Gerald back online. Gerald, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Oh, perfect. Yes, we can hear you now.
Sorry,
we can hear you.
Guys, I'm using my cell phone, and I had a call.
I see.
That was what happened. So I'm using my cell phone, and I had a call. Sorry, guys.
All
Sorry,
right.
guys.
That's okay.
So the question was basically, can we succeed anywhere?
Yeah.
Now the answer question, it's not easy. It is not an easy answer, right? It's relative. All right.
Yes.
It's absolute. It's relative. So it depends on who you talk to. Now, I would say that we cannot deny the fact that there are wider opportunities, basically in the United States, Canada, and in Western Europe. And when I talk about Western Europe, you and I know,
Yeah.
what the, however, we've had people succeeded in Cameroon, African, wherever they find themselves. Again, you can succeed anywhere if you have a plan. Now, I know a lot of people have plans, but now, say you graduate from school and basically you're going to start a business and you have no means to raise a capital to raise that business. And even if you do raise that capital, the system is structured in a way that can literally crumble you from day one. All the taxes involved. So, literally, I would say that we without any disparity, it's a fact. It's there are wider opportunities overseas. That's a fact. But we've had people succeed. I was in Nigeria for what, 3 months, and you could see young people establishing businesses. You understand? Like literally business. I met a guy. I don't know if you know KK. KK. It's the guy. Some of you might not know KK. It's kind of a bag that has been designed in a way can kind of carry 4 people. And this guy is a graduate of engineering from University of Lagos, but he drives. You understand? No, he drives KK, and like, how did he raise that money? He didn't start with owning that KK, but now he owns like 10 of them. He doesn't drive anymore. Wow. You understand? And now he's looking forward to establishing a company wherein they could, like a wall design mechanic garage, but now it's much more structured in a way that he has employees. No,
Yeah.
so that's a guy who started from literally nothing. So you can make it anywhere. But I'm not denying the fact that the opportunities are wider in the United States, in the UK, and most of Western Europe. Because literally here now, you don't need anything to start a business other than $99. You get a license to start a business.
Yeah.
Instead of Ohio, that's why, $99. Now, we talked about previously with the system, the credit system, about fiscal responsibility, because we know there are people out of, in sub-Saharan Africa. The means is, how do I raise the capital?
Yeah.
So to answer your question, to summarize your question, like I said, literally, it's relative. There are folks who will tell you I succeeded in Africa, and there are folks in America that have been here 30 years and they haven't succeeded. So
Yeah.
it's relative.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Thank you very much for that. I think just following up on that, I had a couple of guests, last time. One was a young comedian, Godiz, and it's like a guy who just got up, and the way what he shared to me was quite touching, and I just felt like I should share this so that maybe somebody else is listening today, they can pick up on that. So he and his friends, he had a talent, he wanted to be an actor. He didn't have a camera. He had another friend who had a camera who wanted to be a director, you see. And then he had another friend who had another set of equipment. So what they did was, I think 3 or 4 of them, they came together and said, okay, why don't we just, we want to become actors. We want to be recognized. We want to be known out there. So what can we do together? You see, you've got a camera. Definitely we need a camera for this. You've got directing skills, and I've got acting skills. And so the 3 of them came together and they started creating, little funny skits, I think the guy, they call him Richard, so yes. So they came together, the 3 of them, you see, and some of his videos, has got like 1 point something million views,
Right.
and then he started acting and things like that. His friends also became good at directing, they got better equipment, they kept on. So definitely, like what you're saying is very important. You see, wherever you are, what you need, first of all, is to have the vision. Write the vision down. Make sure you understand the vision. Let it not just be, something that you got up and emotionally you think like, okay, let me try this thing out. If you're just going to try it out, you're not going to succeed. Period. It's something that you have to be dedicated. It's something that you need to be committed towards. And you need to also look around you and see if you can have a support system. The likes of Dale Carnegie, they'll be talking about like have a master group system, at least 2-3 people that you can feed off who have they are working on the same thing, they have the same energy, the same vibe, and 2-3 of you can work together. But if you have already sought it, you know exactly what you want, you can go on your own. You can go on your own. So opportunities are everywhere. You can definitely succeed, whether you're in Europe, in Cameroon. It doesn't matter whether you're in Timbuktu or whatever. You will still succeed. Now, just to follow up on that, because we've touched on one of my questions already quite a few times now. Sometimes like these young entrepreneurs, they come to you and they'll be like, if I can only have capital, if I can only have the money, I'll be the next Mark Zuckerberg or be the next big deal. So my question to you is this. For a struggling young entrepreneur right now, for somebody who's got the vision, they've got the passion, but they don't have the capital, how can they raise capital? How can they raise capital for their project that they need? Because sometimes the only thing they need is maybe a little bit of capital. How can they raise this capital? From your experience.
So basically, I mean, that's another good question, right? That's a beautiful question. Literally, we know there are so many people out there with a business plan.
Yeah.
Now, the question is a business plan without actual resources to materialize that plan.
Yeah.
It's nothing, right? We know of cases where in the United States, people's dad, family have helped them realize their potentials.
Yeah.
Now, the truth is that a young man in Cameroon, you have a vision to set up a poetry, and it requires a 200,000 CFA capital, and that's it. You don't have it, and you can produce this amount of eggs. You can supply the eggs. You could sell the chicken, whatever. Now the question is, how do I raise that money if I don't have
Yeah.
the understand? There are multiple ways. And let's just make this clear. There's never an easy way. You
Yeah.
understand? Now, again, it comes back to being able, you understand, to be passionate about what you're trying to accomplish. And now you can reach out. All right, you could reach out because it's difficult to say you're trying to set up a business that needs 200,000. You don't even have a bank account. That's the problem,
Mm.
right there. You understand?
Mm.
Because familiarity with a regular credit union. You understand? Because when we talk about loan, like in Cameroon, it's all about relationships.
Yeah. Yeah.
You understand? And in the Western world, underwriters will be the one giving you those checks to start a business. But
Yeah.
now in Cameroon, specifically, we're talking with folks in Cameroon. It's all about relationships. You understand? There should be a way that you at least have a credit, a bank account
Mm.
for a start. You have a basic. Let's say you need 200,000, and you at least have a bank account, and in that bank account there are some savings in that bank account. Because you start a business without saving, like, I mean, you can't just wake up in the day and say I want to start a business. There should be
That's
a
right.
base. There
Yeah.
should be at least a base. You understand? There should be at least a base. A base is a bank account that has at least a couple of thousands, tens of thousands at the minimum. You understand? Then you reach out. Like there is this I've forgotten her name. There's this pastor in Douala. I saw she has a big conference coming in. You have to register for that conference. People will win. People you share vision, and people will win scholarships that can give them grant to start up a business. You have to be, be out there.
Yeah.
Basically, if you can get it from somebody you can't get it from a bank. You can attend symposium and conferences like this. I've forgotten her name, but they have grants all the way to like 1 million CFA.
Mm.
You
Mm.
understand? You just have to participate in the conference, share your vision, and they will do some kind of a draw.
Yeah.
And people will win grant from 20, like 100,000, 50,000, and she has international speakers.
Wow.
So there are so many opportunities out there. Basically they say, knowledge is very important. If you don't know, you don't know.
That's true. That's true. Thank you very much for that. Thank you. Just to add a little bit, guys. Like what he's saying is very important. Like you can't just wake up one day and like, oh, I'm an entrepreneur. I want to be an entrepreneur. You need to also be prepared. For you to raise capital, there are certain basic things that you need to have sorted out. You need to get your facts straight. You need to do the groundwork. You need to get a bank account. One of the easiest ways for you to raise capital could be through your friends and through your family. But if you've been that kind of a person that you don't have integrity, even your friends and your family, they don't trust you, you're not going to raise capital. So you need to start with you. You need to start with your behavior. You need to start with your character. You need to start, having some integrity. That if somebody says, okay, if you go to somebody and you lend, they ask for 10,000 or 20,000 and they give it to you, make sure you give it to them. Let it not come to a point where when they're calling you like, hey, where are you, mate? Like, you don't even pick their phone. How do you then expect to raise capital for something serious as a business? Nobody's going to give it to you. So you need to start with you. Check your character first. Be a person of firm. And this is why I'm very strong on this integrity stuff. Because with integrity, when people know they can trust you, even if you're selling, mud on the street, they will still support you. Why? Because they've come to know that when you say X, it is actually X. It's not like you have ulterior motives behind it. You know, friends and family could actually help you raise a lot of money. It's worked very well for me. You know, it's worked very, very well for me. But also make sure that when they are doing that, you also meet up your own part. You see, you say, okay, lend me for a business. Make sure that you deliver. If you can't deliver, make sure that you have a backup plan. You see, that you can at least come back and say, hey, listen, auntie, uncle, brother, sister, I thought it was going to go this way. This is exactly what I have done. It didn't go too well. But
Right.
I borrowed this money from you. I'm committed to paying this money to you. This is the plan that I have to make sure that you get this money back. Trust me, if you deal like that diligently and faithfully with integrity with every single person, they will keep backing you until you will make your breakthrough.
Right.
So you need to definitely, work on that. And once you're working on that, people will also see and they will come to trust and to believe you, and you can raise. Like Gerald said, be out there, check where is the money, follow the money.
Right.
Follow the money, check and see where the money is. If there are events give you opportunities for network. If people don't know you, they will not invest in your business, period.
Right.
Obscurity is the highest cause of failure for businesses. Obscurity is the highest failure for businesses. What does obscurity mean? Nobody knows about you. Nobody knows about your product. Nobody knows what you're doing. Nobody has heard about you. How can you raise money like that? So put yourself out there. You see, put yourself out there. Let people know you. Let people know that this is what you stand for. Let people know that this is what you do. I know that if I'm talking fashion, I go to Gerald. Think about that. I was thinking of who in the fashion industry am I going to call? Gerald. He came to mind. Why? Because I know that this is what he's for. Okay, if I want to speak to a comedian in Cameroon, who do I go to? I've got Godis. I've got, a Longe, aka Auntie Felicia. I know that this is what they're about. You see, so you need to also come out something. If you want to do poetry, do people know that you're a poetry person? Because if I know that you're a poetry person, then I can at least get a modicum of satisfaction, a modicum of confidence that you know what you're doing. If Jared comes to me and says, okay, hey, bro, like, listen, I've got this idea about expansion in fashion, I will listen diligently. Why? Because he's been doing it. I know he's been doing it. He's been diligent. He's been faithful. I know that he has been doing that. So he's not obscure. Now, imagine now, contrary to that, perhaps, if Gerald now wakes up and he starts talking about farming to me, it's like, Gerald, I think you've missed it a little bit, bro.
Right.
So people need to know you for something. You see, people need to know you for something. Don't be obscure. So if you're a business person, go out there. Let people know you. Let them know about what you're doing. Let them be excited about what you're doing. Be excited about what you're doing. Tell people. If you cannot tell people that, if you're ashamed of what you're doing, you should not be doing it in the first place. So I just wanted to add that a little bit. And yeah, go on, John.
Yeah, no, that's very true. That's definitely very true. Sometimes people, you just, like I said, you can't start a bit. You don't have a bank account. You have to, banks. There are credit unions in Cameroon. You build relationships in that credit union. You understand? There's no credit system in Cameroon where somebody can say, okay, I'll give you $500,000 CFA because you have a track record of investing. Yeah. And that's not in Cameroon. But now you could build relationship even at the level of the banks.
Yes.
That's fact. You cannot dispute that. I've had people, basically, they open credit unions and they are partners of that credit union, working there, they borrow 100,000, 200,000. I have a young man, I helped him set up a poetry business. And he's doing well. It's not because he knows me, but it's because he was able to at least have a base.
Yes.
You have to have a base.
Yeah.
I've had somebody reach out to me. They don't have a bank account. Nothing. So I finished I've been struggling. My parents, in the village, and with the crisis too now, they've gone into the football. But you don't have basically you have to start from a base. You have to have a base.
Yeah. You need to set the foundation.
Exactly.
You need to set the foundation. If the foundation is not right, what can the righteous do? The Bible
Yeah.
says.
Yeah.
Definitely. I think that is absolutely true, guys. Like you yourself, like even you guys listening, think about it. Like you want to be this great entrepreneur and you don't even have a bank account, even a credit union account. Think about it. It doesn't
That's
sound
the
well.
base.
It doesn't
That's
sound well.
that's the base.
No. Well,
Yeah.
hey, listen, man. I'm not gonna take much of your time again, but
Yeah.
before you go, I just wanted to ask you this. Tell us a little bit about your boutique. I know it's been fantastic, and I know, but I want you to tell us a little bit about
So
your boutique.
basically, when I started this business almost 4 years ago, most of my close inner circle didn't believe it. They didn't believe in what I was trying to do. You know, I have people tell me, Gerald, why don't you start a level? Use your basement in your house, because in America we have big houses with basement.
Yeah,
Use your basement, buy your product, have them stored in your basement. You already have a platform on social media. Start selling on social media. People order you, remove from your basement and ship to them, or
yeah,
literally house. And I said no. I believe in what I want to do. I have the means to the resources, and basically I'm gonna go all full swing.
that's
I see
right.
renting a spot. It's a big deal. It's a big
Yeah,
deal. You don't just
I
wake up
know.
in America, you're renting a place that costs you over $3,000 a month. You understand? No, I had to do it because I believe in what I was doing.
Hmm,
I believe in what I was doing, but again, believing in what you're doing is not enough.
that's right.
You understand? You can believe in your vision, you believe in your vision, but that's not enough. There should be resources to sustain that.
That's
Sustainability.
right.
You have to be able to sustain that. How do you pay the rent? How do you make up your human resource and all that? We started from there. But I'll tell you, to summarize your question, Euro boutique, basically, I'm not gonna be I'm not gonna use be hyperbolic here, trying to say Euro boutique all in America. No, but Euro boutique within the Cameroonian community, within the immigrant community in the United States is a big deal.
I
You
know.
met, I started this store one time in 2019. I had somebody, and just to correct, Shaquille O'Neal wasn't here. Shaquille O'Neal's publicist was here.
Right.
You know, publicist, Black American, walked into my store, didn't believe that the store was owned by an immigrant. I mean, a Black person, sorry.
Hmm.
And walked in here, he thought this was a branch to a corporate store. He thought it was a
Right.
corporate branch somewhere. I said,
Right.
"You talking to the owner?" He said, "Wait a second. Do you own this?" Oh, okay. He said, "Is this a branch?
Of.
What is your corporate office?
Hmm.
Like for
Yeah.
this." And like, okay, this is our corporate office.
Yeah.
He didn't believe it. He didn't. It was, our style, our design, the uniqueness of our design,
Yeah.
and basically because in America, dressing is different with the European style.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, and there and there, he was already telling me, "I'm gonna make a deal out of this." I'm like, "Well, what do you mean? By the way, who are you?" He's like, "Well, do you know Shaq?" I'm like, "Well, Shaq? Who doesn't know Shaq?
Of
I
course.
was
Yeah.
I basketball. Who doesn't know the
Yeah.
legend Shaquille O'Neal?" It's okay. I'm his publicist, and I want to promote Black-owned businesses. I like, wait a second,
Wow.
and he
Wow.
was like, "Yeah, but unfortunately, you're not going to talk to him. He's not going to think about your product, but I'm going to buy a product from you." And Shaquille O'Neal will wear that in the NBA All-Star game in Chicago. I was like,
Wow.
wait a second. And that
Wow.
was it. And
Wow.
there he got me his measurement, right there, $3,000 a suit for Shaquille O'Neal. I was like, "Can I give you for free?" so he could just even just
Yeah, yeah,
he's
yeah,
under so many contract with major Macy's and all these major household names
yeah.
in with clothing. He can't even say anything because that would breach of contract. But yeah, it was a big deal.
It
It was
was.
because we were able to show him why he would be spending 3,000 now regret.
Mm.
He walked in here, he saw our quality, star, customer service. There are so many things that come with that.
Yeah,
That's what Euro Boutique has been able to do over the last couple of years. Being able to give you quality, star, excellent customer service, and a
mm.
lasting product that are unique in
Yeah,
itself.
yeah.
And that's what we've been able. Because when we started, nobody believed that we will be where we are. And
Mm.
we're looking forward to opening another branch
Wow,
in the
wow.
United States. We're planning to open a branch in Chicago. We're planning to open a branch in Cincinnati, Ohio, downtown Cincinnati, literally.
Wow.
And we were supposed to open our branch in Cameroon, but COVID did not help, and that has slowed the whole process.
Mm. I was
You have,
actually going to ask you, like, what is the plan for Euro Boutique? Like, where are you planning to go next? I've seen you, you've been in Dubai. I've
yeah,
seen you, you've been in Nigeria, checking out stuff. So it'll be interesting for us to know.
yeah. Basically, we don't want to let the cat out of the bag. I already, right now we're establishing, all the various feasibility studies and
Yeah.
what a prospect of establishing a business in Chicago. We're almost 80% with full
Okay.
foot Chicago. We are looking at Cincinnati, downtown Cincinnati, two more branches. Now we were looking at Dubai, but Dubai it's a stretch as of now, but there's a likelihood we'll have another branch in Cameroon. We just want to set up things in Cameroon. We're looking at Douala, somewhere around Aqua, because we have a lot of clientele in Cameroon. We have
Mm.
people, if you look at my post, I recently posted, we have people order from Cameroon regularly. You understand?
Yeah.
Regularly. But the problem now is the cost
Yeah.
to ship stuff. We,
Transportation. Yeah.
we tend to, we regularly we have, so we think that it's time to have a Cameroon, but Cameroon now will be a third tier based on all our preferences.
Mm. Wow. Wow. Hey,
So
man,
right,
listen.
we are almost finalizing the Chicago plan.
Yeah.
Downtown Cincinnati, those two shops, we're looking at sometime around 6 to 12 months. We should be up and running in those two cities, downtown Cincinnati and
Yeah.
Chicago. Then from there, Cameroon definitely is the next. Is our next. It's definitely on our pipeline. Yeah.
I'm definitely sure the guys in Cameroon will be very, very excited to have you on board. Ma-
We on average we have like 25, 30 pieces shipped to Cameroon on average. Yeah.
Wow,
We
that's
have people
great.
we have people in Yaoundé, 5, 6 pieces, on average. Yeah. Yeah.
Wow, wow. Man, to be honest, like I'm proud of what you've done. It's incredible. And it also goes to show that when you know what you want to do
Yep.
and you commit to what you want to do, you're diligent and you're faithful to it, there will always be a way out for you.
That's right.
Now, the last question I want to ask you is, so far, what would you say has been your most or challenging stuff as an entrepreneur? But what has been the highest thing that has made you think like, maybe should I reconsider this? Am I on the right path and this and that? Like, what has been sort of like the lowest moment for you so far as an
Yeah,
entrepreneur?
and that's a good question. That's a very good question. And you said something at the beginning of the show. Um, if you have a business and nobody knows about you, you're doomed for failure.
Yeah.
That's it. There's a reason why Coca-Cola puts money, or businesses, they put money on advertisement.
Yeah.
This is Coke, Diet Coke. They call it in Cameroon no sugar, whatever, whatever.
Yes.
Because the sugar free advertisement for Coca-Cola right now. Now,
Yeah.
there's a different. There's a different. There's a reason why every time you tune your TV, you see them advertise.
Mm.
but everybody knows Coke. But why are they spending money on advertisement? There's a difference between I stop doing that, then
Yeah. No. I cannot hear you. Oh, I see. Somebody called. I see. Sorry about that, guys. But I think this part is really, really important. You definitely want to hear this because every entrepreneur, it doesn't matter whether you've been doing it 50 years or 2 years or 4 years, there's definitely a moment of challenge. Let's hear that.
I
Yeah.
had a call, and every time the call comes in, probably if I stop, I decline the call, you probably have a problem hearing me. So I have to restart. So in rounding up, there's a reason why we would tell. So in line with your question, it wasn't always bed of roses. When I started business, there were days, weeks that you basically wouldn't do sales, but you have to pay.
Yeah.
That was like, wait, maybe my friends were right. Maybe I should not have rented this place up front. You see what I mean? Maybe I would have had the suit in my house. I advertised on Facebook. People, or they call it e-commerce. You know what I mean, right? You put in the box and not done to maybe. But no, I wasn't. That was one of the, when you go through a week, 2 weeks, and you don't sell a piece of suit, and you have to pay 3,000 to 4,000 a month, then it start ringing our bell. Pling, pling, pling. You understand? Now, somebody listening with that, but didn't you have savings that, at some point the saving would out?
Yeah.
The saving would out because you project and say, okay, this money can pay the rent for 6 months.
Yeah.
Pay for 6 months. Pay the light for 6 months. But at some point, if the business doesn't start making money, it dries out.
Yeah.
That was one of the difficult moments. My first 9 months of the business. And they always say, new business, when you start a business, give it 3 years.
Yeah.
But at 9 months, I almost quit. I had to find a way to be able to sustain that business. I almost quit in 9 months. 9 months. Because literally, you go through a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, no sales. And like you ask yourself, how do I make it better? And it comes to advertisement. It comes down to advertisement. You see what I mean?
Yeah.
It comes to advertisement. Because you ask the question, how do I make people know that I exist?
Yes.
How do I make people know that there is a brand here that is unique from the typical American clothing brand? That is putting money on advertisement. That is letting the community know you exist. That is letting people know you are better than a major clothing brand like Macy's, Men's Warehouse, Joseph A. Bank, and the rest. I put in money on Facebook. I put in money on Instagram, and that's where we are.
Yeah. Yeah. That's very important.
Oh, give me a second.
That's very important. That's very, very important, guys. Definitely important. Obscurity is not a friend to business. People need to know. People need to know you. People need to know that you exist. People need to see you, that this is what you represent and this is who you are. Until people know that they can come to you for this and this.
Gerald, So I didn't know I have customers coming in.
That's okay, man.
Yeah. So I'm very okay, guys. I'm very sorry. I had a live show and Gerald.
All right, guys. We just want to say thank you very much for your time. We'll let you go and take care of the customers. So thank you very, very much. Definitely looking forward to having you again.
Sure. Thank you, Gerald. It was a pleasure.
Absolutely, man.
A constructive discussion. And I want to appreciate you for having me on your platform. And I hope that somebody was able to get 1 or 2 pieces from our discussion today. Have a wonderful Sunday.
Absolutely, man. Have a good one. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye. All right, guys. So there you have it. Our discussion today with Jared Mayer. Now, before you guys go, I usually take a few minutes just to say something, following the discussion that we've had. On this journey of entrepreneurship, It's not always going to be a bed of roses. It's not always going to be easy. It's not always going to be, as you expect it to be. We all expect it to be easy. We all want it to be easy. We all, want someone to come forward and say, I'm going to hold you by the hand and I'm going to lift you up. But the truth is this: a time is going to come when the people you depended on for your business to move to that next level, they will fail you. A time will come when that money that you expected to come through and take you through maybe 2, 3 months, it will not come. A time comes when you have to make a decision whether your vision that you chose in business is worth fighting for tooth and nail, or it is worth you going back and reconsidering. I want to tell you this: when you make up your mind to go on this journey of entrepreneurship, regardless of what you see, even if you see a lion, you see tigers, you see crocodiles or alligators on your path, do not give up. Do not give up. There is so much that you can accomplish if you can actually put yourself to the test. If you can actually, tell yourself, I want to see how far, how deep, how wide I can become. When you stretch yourself as a human being, you will begin to discover abilities in you that even if you were told that those abilities resided in you, you would refuse vehemently. This journey is not for lack of a better word, is not for the faint-hearted. This journey is for those who are deliberate, those who say, I'm going to go the extra mile, those who say, I want to see how much I can get done, how impactful I can become, and doing so with integrity. Remember this. Remember this. Everything you do, if you put integrity first, you will always succeed. I'm telling you this because I've been there so many times. I've had failed businesses, more failed businesses that I would care to imagine or that I would care to even acknowledge it. But every time, regardless of what happens, the same people will still support me. They will still go with me to the next venture. They will still hold me up. Why? Integrity. I try to do everything with integrity. I try to put integrity first. And it's not the easiest of values to live by. I can tell you it's a very difficult thing. Sometimes you get that thing in you saying, if you can just take a little shortcut, just a tiny little shortcut, you're going to get a far better result in the now or in the moment. But over time, you see that when you compromise along the way, it all will culminate and become something that you can no longer handle in future. And that is where sometimes you see people that have been there, successful for a long period of time, in a twinkling of an eye, overnight, they disappear. You don't hear about them again. They start hiding, they start running from people. Regardless of how much my businesses have, some of the businesses I had have failed, I still have a good relationship with the clients. Why? Because the people who invest with you, they do so because they trust you. They do so because they believe in you. They do so because they want you to succeed. They do so because they are praying and they are rooting for you. So when things go wrong, if you run away from them, what kind of a message are you sending? How would they look at you? If you don't take care of them, if you are not honest with them, if you are not upfront and open with them, they will be the ones to tell anyone wanting to invest with you, that guy is a scammer, he's a liar. Don't trust anything that he says. And you're not going to go very far with that kind of a recommendation. But when people know that they can trust you, when people know that they can believe in what you're saying and in what you're doing, they will tell others, hey, listen, when that guy speaks, you should listen to him because he's truthful, he's honest, and he knows what he's doing. So I just want to leave you guys with that. When it comes to raising capital, there are many ways that you can raise capital. You can raise it from friends, you can raise it from family, you can raise it from institutions, from banks, from VCs, from angel investors. There are many ways you can raise capital. But before people can trust you to depart with their money, they need to trust you. They need to know that you are a man of integrity and that you can also do what you say you can do. If you cannot do what you say you can do, nobody is going to give you money. I hope you guys have gotten that for today. And as you go tonight, this evening, throughout the next coming week, please think about that. Think about that. Do business with integrity. Make sure you set your foundation. If you want to be an entrepreneur, you have to start networking. You have to start reaching out to people that have been there, to people that are doing the thing that you want to do. You have to reach out to people that have gone ahead of you. Keep your shame or your pride. Forget, put it in the pocket. Be humble. Reach out to people. If you need help, ask for help. If you need coaching, ask for coaching. If you need mentorship, ask for mentorship. And be a good student. Be a good student. If you go to somebody to help you and they tell you, okay, this is what you have to do it and prove to them that you've done it. I have many people coming, oh, sir, can you mentor me? And I ask them just simple 3 things to do, and they cannot even do it. Why would I want to waste my time with somebody like that? But for those that are diligent and they are faithful and they do it, I will stick my neck out for them. Why? Because I see the seriousness and the earnestness in them. There are times that I have been down and I needed help, and I've gone. Currently I have quite a lot of mentors. Oh yes, I have a lot of mentors. And they tell me, Gerald, do this, do this, do this. I've given you this deadline. I need to push myself to meet up with the deadline that my mentor has given me. Why? Because if I can do that, they will invest more time on me. They will invest energy in me. They will invest their experience in me. And I will not have to make the same kind of mistake that I have made in the past. So I'm saying this to say that you can become successful wherever you are, in whatever industry or sector that you've carved out for yourself. But you've got to be diligent and you've got to be faithful and you've got to do it from a place of integrity. So guys, I want to leave you with that. Have a wonderful day. On Thursday, I've got an incredible guest. Joybert will be joining me, and he and I will be exchanging a lot still on this topic, success against all odds. And he's a young man growing, but he's got tremendous influence and he's accomplished quite a lot of things. I hope to see you there. And I hope that you're going to learn something as well, so that the value that you get out of it is going to be much more for you because you're following than even if you had paid for a mentor. So God bless you and stay well.